under 65. We don't want to be pulled over.
Affirmative.
No. You gotta listen to the way people talk. You don't say affirmative or some shit like that. You say, no problemo. And if someone comes up to you with an attitude, you say, eat me. And if you want to shine them on, it's hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, or later, dickwad. And if someone gets upset, you say, chill out. Or you could do combinations.
Chill out, dickwad.
That's great, see, you're getting it.
No problemo.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers, by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
We just had a little technical difficulty there.
The fuck happened?
I don't know. I'm as shocked as you are. In any case, what is going on, everybody out there in podcast land?
Yo.
Hello, my darlings.
I'm sorry I didn't get you.
Very abrupt.
Your intro song, yeah. Sorry about that. Yep. I don't know, honestly. It just kind of had a hiccup, and I was not going to wait for it.
Okay.
So, we are live, motherfuckers. Sometimes
Way to start the night.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get to choose when you come in. It chooses you.
That's so weird.
But yeah, we'll just roll with it. What are you lighting up there, Mr. Monster?
It's Prego.
Hell yeah. Prayer Tower crossed with GG4 from Mass Medical.
How do you remember these things?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know. I just kind of have a knack for, like, remembering lineage. If I see
Just
it anywhere...
Just like Lineage Rain Man? Jeez.
Yeah,
like...
for real. Like, actually, there's 486 matches. It's 7 o'clock, time for Jeopardy. I just watched that. Great movie, by the way.
It is a good flick.
But yeah, no, I if I see it anywhere at any point, like if I read Lineage, it's like in my head. I know it. And plus, I've heard Monster say it like 80 times.
In fairness, he did ask me last time.
I've heard it exactly the same amount of times that you have, and there's you would have asked me that, I couldn't have answered to save my life.
Yeah.
Well, there is way too much like disk space being used up in my brain, like RAM and computer terms, I guess, of lineages and like, yeah, autoflower family trees and all that stuff. It's just
Jesus.
totally useless info, but
Snuff film directors.
yeah, exactly. So
Let's go out of order. What about you, Cap?
yeah, let's
What
do
you
it,
smoke
man.
on?
I'm about to grind up some local skunk. My autoflowers are curing, so I'm letting them cure. And in the meantime, I only have a little bit left of this, one of the most flavorful strains that I've ever come across, truly. Smell and flavor-wise, like this is a winner. I shall be growing it again. And here's like a nice top bud for you. You can get a sense of like the wacky bud structure on her.
I like those crazy foxtails. I mean, they're not even foxtails.
No, this was just how
They're
she
just
grew,
like
yeah.
protrusions.
Yeah. A little lumpy, but like, man, super nasty terps. I love her. A little bit on the drier end because, you know, there's not much left in a bigger jar, and she's kind of like, she's over cured, I guess, but sometimes that's when you get your best joints. Less moisture content. Smoking more weed per hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like my personal smoke a little bit on the drier side than most.
Yeah, you know what, man? I am finding. What would you say, like, if you put a hygrometer in your jar? What's your perfect, like, ideal? I'm pulling a nug out right now to smoke it. What do you like to see?
Depends
So
on
what
what you're smoking.
I usually like to do is I'll take it out ahead of time, knowing that, you know, when I want to smoke it. Now, this does you no good on a humid, like, rainy day. It's just going to rehydrate.
Yeah, it's true.
Just want to clear that up. But if I had it my way, like 48-50% probably.
Yeah, man. You know, I am in favor of my cannabis being more on the 50% humidity range than 60. I don't know where 62% came from.
That was just a number they chose from cigars, honestly. and I don't even know
It's
where
just
they chose it.
Boveda bag just made that happen. That's a meme number.
0.03 or 0.3 or whatever it is.
I'm willing to believe it,
Some
man.
random
No,
number.
62% is too wet.
It's a little high for
far
my
too
liking.
wet,
It's
man.
a little wet.
Yeah.
For anything. If I'm smoking out of a bong, I prefer it to be a little more wet. For smoking out of a, like smoking a J, I want it to be a little drier.
Could you change
Quickly, this is
the
not the
usage
time or
of the
place.
word wet to moist, please?
Moist. all right.
Moist.
Definitely too moist for my liking. That's usually not a problem for me, but you know, usually the moister the better, baby. But yeah, no, when I'm pulling out a nug, 62 is way too high. Like, give me something in the 55 to like 52 range.
I want to be able to just crumble it right into my bowl.
Oh, no,
Without-
that's too dry.
No,
don't
like,
want it,
no, it's not going to
desiccated.
crumble like dust, but you should be able to just break it up and, like, you know, put it right into the bowl. That's how I like it. I like it a little drier, like I said. I've had people comment that they think that my stuff's too dry, like when I smoke it. That's
Really?
why I like it. Yeah, I like it. I like
Now-
it on the dry side.
I do think that, like,
You don't want to store it that way, though. I usually store it in the grow bags, and then when I'm, you know, like, I came home tonight, I took a couple nugs out, I threw them on the tray, and they've been sitting here chilling, and they're perfect.
A little bit of room cure right before you
Yeah.
smoke them.
Yeah,
oh, it goes a long way sometimes.
it does.
I do think that there is like a difference between coming to that 50%-ish humidity range at like a very slow pace. You don't get there immediately, you know. It's like, yeah, you put your weed in the jar when it's at 60, and if it brings it down to 50 over the course of a few weeks, you're not losing any terps. You're not losing like any flavor, at least in my experience.
No,
All
I
you're
think you
losing
get
is
more
moisture
flavor.
content. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
as long as it's not too dry and over. If you like, look, if I leave it out overnight and come back to it, chances are it's not going to be the same. Most cases it will if it's pretty fresh. But like if you leave it out too long and it over dries, it's just going to be meh and it's going to burn like fucking match powder. You know, like you put it in the bowl and you take a hit and you like it just gets like a hole sucked through and you can't even get a decent hit and it's all like gone to the sides. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Like you try to roll a joint, it just fucking boat down the river because it's like, you know, smoking sand.
Boat down the river. I like that.
So, there's a fine line. There's a fine line. When I was younger, I used to throw it on top of the cable box for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, come back to it. Oh, Cap has hit that cough button.
I did. I did. Little on the dry side. Irritated my throat just a touch.
So the moist ones don't irritate your throat?
Not as much.
Okay.
Like G3 said, excuse me, I think for bong hits, I got one more in me. Give me a second.
Get your shit together, dude.
For bong hits, you need it a little bit higher than 50, for sure.
Yeah.
But in any case, there is a range between that 60 and 50%. You know, different strokes for different folks, I assume.
Yeah.
So it's not always about that 62%, you know? Like, give me something I can
Storage at 62.
Work with right now.
Or starting storage at 62.
I'd say even 58's fine.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously,
do you think there's a difference if it cures at 58 versus
Isn't that
62? Probably not.
Isn't that the low end of the Grove Bag humidity range?
Yeah.
It says
That's
like
what they say,
58 to 62.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
And please, if you guys are using Boveda packs or Boost or Integra, or I've seen a bunch of them, just please switch to a Grove Bag. Do it for the terps. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for the terps.
I think Bovedas and Boosts and stuff like that can be a great thing to help save bud that's already too dry.
No,
it shouldn't be a storage mechanism.
You know I love you, G3, but I'm going to push back against that one.
Yeah, tell me why.
Well, it's... First of all, if your bud over dries and you reintroduce moisture to it, all you're doing is reintroducing moisture. It's not going to have... The cure will never come back. You can never restart that process once you've over dried. And if you really need to rehydrate, grab a fresh cannabis leaf or even a fucking wet paper towel in the bag for a little while will do, as opposed to those Boveda packs. In my experience, every time I've smoked herb like that, like somebody's come over or I'm at a party or whatever, and the weed comes out of there, I'm telling you, I can taste it.
I absolutely agree if it's stored with it long term. I think for short term rectification situations where it's in there for like a day or less, then it has a use. But if you're just leaving it in with your bud, it's just going to steal your terps.
Well, I think 99% of people use them. They use them as a crutch for curing.
Yes, I agree.
In their jars. And it's like, no.
I agree.
Just don't do that. Like if you're having a hard time maintaining proper humidity inside of a jar, and even if you're not, I'm like I've said it before, I fucking love the Grow Bags. They've been a game changer for me. You don't have to worry about burp and shit. As long as you don't overstuff the bags and you don't try to reuse it 100 times, they work great. Haven't had any issues with them.
You know what I've had success with rehydrating some over dry stuff before too is just a piece of white bread.
I've used orange peel as long as it's a tangy strain.
Yeah, if it's already an orange tasting strain, for sure.
Don't use an orange peel with like something
I'd be worried about the bread with all the yeast and fucking...
I'd be worried about molding.
Yeah, you know, a fan leaf's probably your best bet.
Definitely.
This was before I was growing, you know? Like,
you know what we used to do back in the day to the Mexican brickweed? We get those fucking compressed bricks. We'd steam them. Fluff them right up.
Really?
Yep. You take a fucking pan with boiling water and a nice
tell me
metal
more.
colander,
Uh-huh.
and you break up chunks of the brick and you throw it in the metal colander with steam, and then you put like a makeshift lid on top of it.
Isn't
like
that temperature too high? You decarbon your weed that
it's
way, or what?
fucking brickweed.
I know,
You know?
but still, I was
Dump-
just talking like if you were to do that today, if you were to steam your weed, does that get hot enough to decarb it?
Not. I
don't
think
know. I wouldn't think
you'd have
so.
to do it for a long time. I'm sure if you did it
Wow.
long enough, absolutely.
Perhaps.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, steaming your brickweed, man. That's a thing kids of today are gonna be like, well, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, and we used to have
What
seeds
the
in it.
hell? Yeah, then you had to take out your seeds and stems. Holy shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
here I
didn't do a
want to.
good enough job, and you got a face full of it.
I'm gonna bring up a picture we all might find far too familiar for just a second here.
Oh goodness.
All right, there we go. Look at that beautiful nug.
Yep, that's pretty much how it all looked.
Remember when that was what we were smoking on?
Yep. And that doesn't even look too bad. It has a little bit of green in it.
I see some orange hairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've smoked far worse, man.
Oh, yeah.
I can smell that. Smell that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that slightly musty odor. You know, it's definitely got a little bit of mold in there.
Oh, I can just see the crackle of the bowl as like one of those seeds ignites.
Yeah.
Oh man, you could like lift the layers off of each other.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They don't actually burn all the way. You just have to sift, poke through the bowl to get like different parts of it actually lit.
Oh man.
I can feel my jaw locking up as I crumple up the tinfoil bowl after I use it.
And now we
those were
have,
good times.
online menus and dispensaries and homegrown.
Oh,
Everyone
dude.
has access to like gorgeous,
Listen,
amazing bud compared to what we used to smoke. Jesus, look at that.
Like, I know if the nostalgia's coming back to you, you're
hard.
old if that brings back like a little bit of nostalgia for you. But like, thank God we don't have to smoke that stuff anymore. And I guess, here, let's get that awful picture off the screen here. Yeah, Jake says the same thing. Can we get that off the screen? Yes, we can, sir.
Yes, we can, Mr. Shocker.
I will not. Yeah, Jake with the logo. So I will not remind you of those days, especially not tonight, when just 6 hours ago, honestly, a pretty significant ruling came down.
Huge.
I would say, all things considered.
The next big step.
Which is that cannabis will now be a Schedule 3 drug, according to the DEA, right? Or FDA?
Mm-hmm. Yep, to the DEA.
Federally, it will be
Federal government
Schedule
says that
3
it is
substance.
not quite as dangerous and has less chance for abuse, which opens up the possibilities for a lot of studies, a lot of possibilities, but opens up the possibilities for some not great stuff either.
Absolutely. We can kind of, maybe we can make like a pros and cons list as we discuss it.
I don't know, man. Like, does nothing for me. Like,
no.
Nope. I think at the end of the day, it's only gonna fucking hurt us in the end.
As soon as Big Pharma gets their hands on it, they will.
We need descheduling, not rescheduling.
I 100% agree.
It's all it's going to do is open the door for other corporate motherfuckers to make money. Look, there's a reason why they'll never deschedule it. It's because there are drugs out there.
I know
that contain cannabis that the drug companies sell. So if they descheduled as a drug, they'll never be able to sell those drugs. So, and if you don't think that the fucking drug companies have a major control on everything you do in this country, you're fucking sadly mistaken. Just you can't even watch a TV show without 100 million pharmaceutical ads, with rare, in cases may cause death.
May cause sudden death.
So now,
ask your doctor if this is right for you. It's like, shouldn't
just-
my fucking doctor tell me if the drug's right for me? Like, he would know better, right? Like,
look, I think that it can, like the G3 said in the beginning, this can open the door for more testing and more research done with cannabis. And see, but for the people, the demographic watching this show, and for the people that listen to us and the home growers, it does nothing for you.
Yeah.
If anything, it can only hurt.
In fact, it's terrifying for home grow. Yeah.
Okay, so why do you say that?
Well,
So
go ahead, G3.
no, good.
Look, if they had it their way, they would strip us all of any type of grower rights that we have at all. Look, all right. I haven't looked it up, but what other drugs are in the Schedule 3 class? If you could bring that up for me.
So I know just off the top of my head, like a commonly cited Schedule 3 drug is like Tylenol with codeine.
Okay.
It has medical use. It's prescribed as a medicine from doctors. It's FDA regulated. However, it does require like a prescription and like a legitimate medical case for its being prescribed. Yeah, like, so I mean, I don't know. There's a lot more. So testosterone is another one.
Anabolic steroids.
Yeah.
Ketamine.
So like, for right off the bat, like you mentioned, one of the big benefits is that we will get research. By whom remains to be seen. Like, whoever pays for the research usually gets the research done, and the results tend to be in their favor. It's funny how that works across all fields, not just ours. But like, yeah, research ultimately will be good. We will get lots of studies on cannabinoids and ones that we don't even know shit about yet. That's exciting to me, like we'll advance.
Before I forget, this viewer here brought up a really good point. You're not allowed to grow your own codeine. You think they're going to crack down on growing? I don't know if they'll touch legal states. I don't think they will either. But I think that what this does do is it possibly puts a fucking stomp on any states that don't have any legal home grower rights, because it's going to be more accessible now to the big fucks like Philip Morris and things like that. They'll be able to mass produce this shit. You'll be able to just, like you can go to fucking CVS, right, and buy your fucking Tylenol or Benadryl or whatever. Like, if I think that they had it their way, you'd do the same thing. Like, you go to the pharmacist and buy your over-the-counter fucking joints, and your state says "fuck you" on home
That's
grow.
what a dispensary is.
So from my understanding, dispensaries aren't going to like be affected by this. The law is mostly for, like you said, big pharma. What this will enable them to do is create more drugs like Marinol, which is one of those like FDA approved. It contains THC. I think it's literally like an extract. I think. So it's like I don't know. I would even how is just a THC extract even like?
It's not even synthetic.
It's not even. I wouldn't even consider that medicinal. You know what I mean?
And yeah, no, it's useless. I don't know if you ever even tried Marinol. But you don't feel much at all.
So yeah, we got someone in the chat says it's a non-psychoactive form of THC. This is the type of stuff that like there's gonna be a lot more of. I do think this opens up like the FDA for like controlling the edibles market, which has, you've seen, spiraled out of control. I mean, they're selling THCA and Delta 9 gummies at every single gas station in America now, a lot of which actually are the real deal. Like, if you understand the Farm Bill from 2018, as we've kind of like learned how that thing works, it's all been THCA all along, guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of people getting around it with the 0.3% just based on the size of the edible. Like you could have 100 milligrams in a fucking edible the size of a fucking huge candy bar, and it's legal because it doesn't have, it's based on weight.
So it's just the 0.03 or 0.3% is pretty easy to attain. But so it's like I think they kind of had to do this. First, right off the bat, too, I would have loved to have seen a side note accompanying this memo that, like, by the way, we're pardoning all cannabis criminals that are currently in prison.
Right.
Federal, state level, like whatever your crime was, whatever amount you got caught with, you're free. You're free to go. Now that fucking Philip Morris is going to be investing billions into, like, Marlboro Greens or whatever is coming your way. Like, it would have been nice, It would have been real nice.
Honestly, I'm more indifferent to it than anything else. Like,
I don't know. We'll have to see what they do with it. It could be...
Yeah, it could be good.
Things could be totally fine, and it could go well, or it could be a huge power and control grab.
Another perk is that from what I understand, there is a tax burden on cannabis businesses called, like, the 280E. Is it a 280E situation where, like, they can't deduct normal business expenses from their taxes. So, like, they can do that now. It opens up, like, some banking. But it doesn't open up interstate commerce. It doesn't, like, fix most of the problems that exist. It is a step in the right direction. It's like, that's all we can say it is. Like, I think it legitimizes cannabis once and for all as, like, this is medicine.
Yeah, that's one thing I had in the back of my mind. I think it's going to more so help to normalize it and streamline it a little bit more. But
we all have our. A lot of people are very doomsday scenario, like, it's this whole, like. I really don't think it's going to affect much more than, like, it's going to open up different avenues for the plant to be consumed by people ultimately. And, like, it's going to suck that a lot of that's going to be through big business and, like, huge growers without, like, much care for the plant. Guys, like, does it change what we tent pirates are doing? Does it change how I view, my situation? Like, if anything, it makes me feel more comfortable doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. There's pros and cons.
Depends on what direction it goes in,
Overgrow the government either way. That's the goal. Overgrow Philip Morris now is the goal, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, I can't wait to see the... Who knows how it'll shake out, guys? I really, I could speculate, but honestly, I'm kind of encouraged. Not gonna lie. Is this gonna get me to vote straight Dem? I don't know. Probably not.
They're all liars and things.
Probably not. It's all politic, It's election year. It's gonna be a lot more empty gestures and. But yeah, let's talk grow, guys.
Hold on. We forgot one fucking thing.
Okay.
G3, what are you smoking on?
Oh, it's Mango Smile.
Mango Smile? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Carry on.
All right. Yeah. Same old.
Well,
I'm just fucking with you.
Tell you what. You know what? It could be someone's very first show out there. G3, can you give us just a quick rundown? Why do you love Mango Smile? Why is it your go-to?
She's my perfect medicine. She is first of all, she's delicious. She has a very specific flavor and aroma to her, very, like, rotting mangoes on a sunny day. She's beautiful. She's beautiful to grow. She's always been a joy to grow, so I love her every time from the get-go. She gets big and beautiful, and she turns great colors. She tastes amazing. She gets me super upbeat and focused and kind of chatty without making me anxious or racy. So I just love her.
Hell yeah.
She's the best.
She's a staple, guys. If you haven't grown, if you're an auto grower and you haven't grown Mango Smile, like,
What are you doing with your life?
what the fuck are you even doing already? Like, go to the Mephisto website. It's always on sale now. It's like, back in our day, we had to like wait in line for it at noon on a Monday or deal with shutting down servers, and oh man, just go buy you some, man. Get a 3-pack, pop all 3, and you will not be disappointed.
I have
Promise.
recommended her to many, many, many people, and many people have grown her, and I don't know that I've heard a single complaint. Not one.
No. She is, I would say her and Sour Stomper are my two, I recommend those two all the time to people if they're looking for Mephisto recommendations.
Those are both big plants when I grow them. Especially the mangoes.
Especially
Yeah,
that
mangoes
mango.
can get real big, so especially if you get one of those supermodel phenos. They get tall.
Can be a 7-footer in the right conditions.
Yep. They get
Watch out. Someone's asking me, we got Jake says, what you drinking, Captain? This is a nice hazy IPA. It was canned like 2 days ago. Super fresh, and like experimental hops.
experimental hops.
Yeah, they do like...
Or do they like Frankensteining hops?
If you start switching, we know why.
Essentially, that's how it works with hops. They hybridize different varieties the same way like breeders would make F1s of like the new hype strains and slam them together, and then you're like, yo, this hop should be dank, That's kind of the theory, and then they like at the end of the season they kind of bring them out and they make a bunch of beer with them. This one's not even named yet. It just has.
You should call it pollen chucking.
I mean, essentially, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. But in the hop world, I don't know. It's more like, I guess it's.
I mean, they're the same family. It's a lot harder
Yeah.
to breed hops than it is to breed cannabis.
No, super easy. Super easy. And hop vines grow like, you can grow massive plants.
Yeah, they're
Massive.
climbers, right?
Oh yeah, you got to trellis them up, and really cool. But yeah, it's kind of like I always talk about craft beer as like the parallel to craft cannabis, and that holds true in that realm too. I mean, there's people making like hype hops. it's crazy. Yeah, hype
hops.
Man,
Absolutely.
you tried those cookies hops?
Yeah, right. Someone's got to come out with the cookies strain hops. That'd be funny as shit.
And sad at the same time.
It's like, man, if it's like we're ragging on cookies, guys. It's like that's one of the things. Wait till like big money gets involved with the cannabis scene. Like you ain't seen nothing yet. You think
Yikes.
cookies is a bully in the market? Wait till Amazon's selling THCA cannabis straight up to your door.
Yeah,
How's that gonna
Bezos,
work?
Oh my
Bezos booth.
That's totally not far away either. I can
No, it's not
absolutely
at
see
all.
that happening.
It's not at all. I mean, now that we know THCA is effectively legal, I mean,
Until they close that loophole.
dude, wait till no. It's like all the walls have crashed down. I think, and they're just trying to like. I think this is a reactive move to the market forces, like. I mean, they're trying to keep control in big businesses' hands. I don't know if it's currently worked out that way. So we'll see, man. We'll see. There's a lot of reasons for optimism, but like, I see why people are pessimistic. It's like,
Well, it's just I can understand why people are cautious because big changes like this, we don't know what it actually means. You can
For
say,
sure.
"Oh, it's going to be rescheduled. It's going to be descheduled. It's going we don't know what the ramifications of that actually is from a real life perspective."
Right,
So
before the election,
it's a little
too.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, no
Devil
one.
you
We
know
can
versus
only.
the devil you don't.
the great unknown is scary sometimes. Someone mentions in the chat, I agree. L. Quisp. Is that how I want to say that? El Quisp. He says, preserve those seeds. And man, couldn't agree more. You know, I was just watching a documentary the other day about like how in agriculture, big farms out in Iowa, like they buy their soybeans from Monsanto or whoever they get them from, and they're licensed. Those genetics are patented, my friend. You must pay for the privilege to plant those seeds, and then like they're sterile, I guess, so they don't produce more seed, and you have to rebuy them next year, and like it's like, man, it's crazy. If
It's terrible.
they'll come into your they send out auditors to like come check your plants and see like if you're growing unlicensed or if you have more than what you bought or anything like that, man. It's totally wild. So genetic preservation is paramount, whether, you know, who knows what will become of that legally speaking. If the genetics start being patented, that's a whole different fucking ball game.
They
So
start
just-
coming to your door, burning your seeds,
dude,
door to door.
can you even imagine? Shoot your dog, like, where are the seeds? We heard you have a seed stash.
Yeah.
Fuck,
All right,
man.
so
Nope.
it's your
let's get back to the garden.
responsibility to
Yeah.
help preserve the genetics for the future.
Listen, it's like, it's just do the right thing one way or the other. That's my advice to you. We know what the right thing is, you know? We all know what the right thing is. So yeah, guys, how is the gardens going? Are you encountering any issues you want to talk about? Any
I did something
anomalies?
that I normally wouldn't do. I direct sowed some autoflower seeds in the ground in my backyard when it's definitely not warm. It's definitely not going to be warm enough. But I just kind of wanted to see what would happen.
Well, with this heat wave, it just might be.
Well, we didn't get quite like it hit like upper 60s, maybe 70 here today, but it didn't get quite as warm as it did up. You were saying like what, 90 degrees the other day?
It was like 88 or something.
Wow.
by me.
Yeah.
It was very warm. Amazing. Loved it.
Yeah, we haven't got that yet because we're still getting cooled down by the ocean a little bit. But I imagine that weather's not too far, behind us. I told you I plan on doing a big like veggie garden this year outside, so I got all my seeds planted, started, ready to go. My kid threw a stalk of celery in a cup, and it started shooting off leaves. So we're gonna plant that too. See what happens. So
That's so fun. I remember doing that with like potatoes and stuff.
Yeah. Like I've seen it done with potatoes and other shit, but when he asked me if it would work, I said I don't know. If I can try it, fuck around and find out. Basically, right? And it worked. So he's all excited about that. I think it's cool to get your kids involved in the gardening and shit like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn, man. There's patience, one thing.
Dude, fresh grown fucking veggies, and you just can't beat it. Like
The
shit you get at
basics
the
of
grocery
knowing
store.
how to tend and provide your own food is a skill that will never go amiss in anyone's life. Everyone should learn that.
For sure. And if you haven't already, like, use your love of growing cannabis as the gateway to growing your own
Yeah.
food as well.
Pick
That
one
happens a lot,
vegetable.
actually.
Try it.
Hell yeah.
It happens a lot. People start growing cannabis, and they're like, "Oh, I want to try growing some veggies, and let's see what happens."
Really. That's what it's the gateway drug to. Better
Yeah.
living and fresh vegetables. Taking better care of yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting my outdoor garden going. I'm going to use one of those autopot spiders in like a bed. Should be cool. I'm going to get the autopot going outdoors because, it's the far away bed. It's like, it's not near the hose hookup, so it'll just be way easier. Plus, 2 beds are better than 1, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Another thing I'm going to try doing, and I actually think it's more plausible than not, is I live pretty close to a lot of I'm surrounded by fresh water, right? And I'm going to try digging a well and see what happens. Yeah. I bet you I don't have to go down too far. And if I could get free water from a well, it wouldn't be free because I'd have to pump it, probably hook up some sort of electric pump, but basically free water. That would be fucking cool shit.
For human consumption or plant consumption or both?
No, the most I would do with it for human consumption is I was thinking about like hooking it up to like the washing machine, and getting water that way, but mainly just for gardening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have it tested. You'd be surprised most of the time, if you get a good source of water, it's cleaner than you think, especially around here. Like I'm in the mountains, like when you're driving down the highway and shit and you can see water pouring off the sides.
Oh, yeah.
That's
the best water.
Yeah, I think so.
Naturally filtered spring water, It's,
mm-hmm.
They found that Poland spring and patented it, and they've been making a mint ever since. That's all it is, funny? Man.
My dad I like Poland spring water. It's good, but like my dad loves Poland spring water, and everything else is inferior to him.
I mean, it's not bad, It's pretty crisp. Bet the plants would like it. But yeah, we have, Can. What up, buddy? He says collect rainwater. That is a great practice to get into.
It is. I have to get gutters first. This house doesn't have gutters. But we are working on that.
That is important.
So I have a slate roof, which is actually like preferable to the asphalt, like shingles.
Yeah.
If you're going to collect rainwater. So
100%.
There's a couple considerations, but hey, if it's free, comes right from nature.
It used to be illegal
should
to
be
collect rainwater.
It still is.
It still is.
Still is in some places.
It's still illegal to. That cannot possibly be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
Absolutely.
Not anymore.
No,
you're not allowed to catch water falling from the sky.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's still illegal in lots of places. G3, you'd be shocked.
There was a guy who tried to solve his town's drought problem and created a pond in his property and pumped water to the town, and he got arrested. So like,
no shit.
We live in a fucked up society. Like sometimes we just have no common sense, Like yes, the man technically broke a law, but he did it for good.
All right, we have a couple answers are starting to make a little sense from the chat. That's what I love about
it's definitely
live
state
show.
Specific.
Jimmy Hat says it's illegal in Texas. Well, that sucks, partner. That sucks.
What if you make it with gun barrel? Is it legal?
But El Quisp chimes in and says that's because of mosquitoes. Standing water would be an issue. Imagine
usually
people
when you collect rainwater, it's covered.
Not everyone
should have some treatment facility.
I don't know. You're gonna trust everyone to do that, G3, or just I don't know.
I would hope that people do their best in all things.
I don't know. All bets are off in 2024. All bets are off.
Doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, guys. Let's return to the cannabis garden. The sudden influx of summer. I had to adjust a lot of things. Like suddenly, boom.
Did your tent freak out?
Oh yeah. Well, when I went up there and I was above 90 in both of my tents.
That's horrible.
That's when I, honestly, and that is my threshold, my true danger zone. If I see 88 from time to time, I'm like, yeah, that's high, but it'll come down, it's just
that's high.
Just a warm day, it'll come back. But no, truth be told, if I don't have constant air conditioning in my attic, all warm
You're
season,
also in the attic.
I'm fucked. Yeah, I'm fucked. It's so hot it gets, just it will be 90 degrees in the room itself. Plus, if I don't condition it. So, yeah, I had to move a tent. I had to install a window AC unit. First, had to clean out the filters, make sure it's not blowing dust or anything. Running as efficiently as possible for a couple-year-old unit. But I think it's like a Monster, you'd know if this makes sense. I believe it is an 8,000 BTU unit. It's average size, I'd say, for like a small room. It's not even the big, it's not huge.
Most like bedrooms could be, cooled off just fine with an 8,000 BTU. I should say, a good majority of them.
Used to be the one I used in my bedroom. Exactly. Till we got a new one there, I moved that one up to the grow. And it does the job just fine. I mean, you put it on like econ mode and it runs when it has to. I will literally leave it on all summer. I have to. So
what do you set the temperature to?
69.
So you get your room about 69 degrees, and then you're able to keep your tent, in
the room itself. So like what I notice is that the temperature never quite reaches 69. But if I put it on that setting, the room itself should stay about 74, 75.
So
low 70s.
So it can't. So in that case, that air conditioner is undersized.
I would say a little bit, yeah.
Does it ever turn off? It just runs.
It does turn off, but like not. It is probably a little bit undersized. I would say, like once you add, like if you just go by square footage and like the Home Depot AC shopping guide, like it's all specced out. But once you add heat from 3 lights, from a dehumidifier, which runs sometimes and shoots out hot dehumidified air, like it's got to work a little bit overtime. So if I had to go back and do it again, I would at least get a 10,000, 12,000 BTU unit. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to oversize what you have for your grow, but
yep. And you actually would say you'd save a little bit of juice too, because it wouldn't have to work as hard.
And I know you. Believe you me, I looked at mini splits. I would love to get one. I would love to. They have those like Mr. Cool DIY units now.
I'm pretty confident you could do it. It looked easy. You'd have to have your cousin or electrician come out and hook up a dedicated circuit for you for that air conditioner, and then you're good to go. That's really the hardest part, because you're not good with electricity. The rest of it you could do.
And that does heat too, correct?
Most of them do. Man,
yeah. Talk about a not so expensive, but like huge upgrade for a central air conditioned home.
I think more people should consider them, especially the fact where they do heat as well.
I'd have to get three heads for it though. One for the attic, one for like the living room, and one for the bedroom.
I try to discourage people from getting the multi-zone units.
Oh, really?
Well, for a couple of reasons, and I mean the biggest one is if the outdoor unit fails, all 3 zones are out. You're fucked. You're done. 2, there's only like 1 or 2 models available, and they're super expensive, but you can't demand cooling and heat at the same time from one if you so need it to. I've had people that put those in grow facilities expecting to use one of them to cool for their dry room, and they were sadly mistaken that it couldn't do it.
So it would be like if in an ideal situation you'd get a outdoor unit for each.
Yeah, I'd get separate units for each zone.
Okay, all right. Word. That's probably the final frontier for me.
And actually, it's cheaper, believe it or not. You think you save money by buying those triple zone or double zone units? It's not the case. It's usually more than double the cost of a single unit for some reason, and I don't know why.
Well, it really, the only big change you have to make to your grow space when the warm weather comes is you have to figure out a solution to cool it. You do. You do. I mean, and I am as, you know, 90 is my threshold for panic, but like really it's high 80s. If I see anything plus above 86, that's when I get into, action.
Yeah. I hit 84, 85, and I'm freaking out.
You really shouldn't. 84, 85 is money.
84 is cool.
Like
yeah. 84 is.
It's very unusual. Okay, so my tent is in my basement, and my house is air conditioned. I have central air conditioning, so my basement is cool all the time. If my tent is hitting 85, something is wrong. It's just too high. My tent never gets that high.
You know what, though? The plants seem to like a warm day every once in a while, I will say.
I can see that. I
they
definitely
get
hit
a lot
like
of work
82,
done.
83, but not 85.
So it's funny, like, what do you think your surface leaf temperature is? If your tent temperature is 84 in an LED lit tent,
82? 80?
I'd say even 80 or 79, you're probably right in that range. Like it's leaf offset temperature is usually about 3-4 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're at 84, you're right around 80, 81. Just saying, it's cool. It's if you get above 85, then
it's not like I'm freaked out for the plant's sake. Like I know that the plants can handle that. It's that my tents never run that warm.
Gotcha. Well, if it's if you can handle it, I guess it's fair to say your plants can for at least a day.
Yeah,
it's a general rule of thumb too.
I mean, they're not gonna really. What could a day of too much temperature do? Unless you're cooking them. Not that big of a deal. Just same reason if it drops too low for a day. Okay.
That's what 90 degrees will do if you keep it there for too long. So yeah, guys, figure out an AC solution. Like, for most of us, we're using window units. We're cooling our lung rooms, not like trying to mount an AC unit in a tent, though I have seen people try to do that. It just, like, why? Why would you do that? Like, we control the air of our lung room to bring it into the tent using the parameters on your exhaust fan that you probably fucked up. But that's how we intake that air. And Monster, we can't hear you.
Oops. I will say the wall unit in the grow tent's not the worst idea if you're near a window and you can position it correctly, which I've done and seen people do. Yeah, fucking cut a hole right in that tent, stick that air conditioner in right in the window just like you normally would, and you can tape it up with foil tape. Make it actually look pretty nice.
What if it's if your tent's like backed up against a window?
Yeah, it's got to be in the right spot. Like you can't just.
Gotcha.
It's not going to work out for everybody.
Interesting.
Well, you lose the window anyway with the air conditioner.
I mean, the air conditioner just takes up the bottom bit of it.
So
worth it for the plants.
One thing I have tried is, and I do use I use a portable air conditioner unit. In my dry tent for like the warm months, it works fairly well. I don't think, unless you get like one of those super expensive dual hose units of a portable air conditioner unit, it's not a great solution for a grow. But for a single tent, maybe if you just were to pump the air from one of those into your tent, quite literally, interesting solution. You could even like link that up to your AC Infinity like controller 69 and set up a probe, run that thing when it needs to.
When I immediately duct cold air, I get lots of problems with water.
That makes sense.
It'll definitely drip.
Yeah, like all through the tubing. If you have the tubing like not put correctly, you're just going to get pools of water. It's a pain in the butt. So yeah, water management with AC is kind of annoying, especially if you're direct ducting it.
Agreed. Figure out a solution for the drip if you're going to go that route. Because, yeah, I mean, again, best solution is to condition your lung room, not your tent directly. Though, for, in certain circumstances, it does work, you know? Just a thought. If that's all you got, use what you got, guys.
Do what you gotta do.
That's right. Do what you got to do. I mean, I've seen people use these swamp coolers with like just a cube of ice.
Oh man, growers are the most ingenious, amazing, brilliant people I've ever seen.
Ice, like,
Such outside-the-box thinking.
coolers can work. Like an ice-filled cooler with the right fan can definitely work. I mean, it's not sustainable. It's kind
Oh,
of
drop it a few degrees, right?
no, it'll work. Yeah, like look,
How about dry ice?
Sure, that's expensive, and it's like not long-term sustainable.
How
Like
about liquid nitrogen?
again, same thing. I wouldn't fuck with that though. I'd be too
We
scared.
can't use the T1000 to cool our grow.
No.
I'd be.
No,
What was that
touchy.
scene where he collided with like the tanker with the liquid nitrogen? Remember that one? And all the frozen bits, and then he coalesced. And have you seen this boy?
I got in an elevator once with somebody with liquid nitrogen tanks. I'm like, cool to know if this fucking thing breaks open, we're all dead. Sweet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you should take the freight elevator, buddy.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, another thing I wanted to mention in the garden is I got this weird chicken foot pheno. I call it. I'm sure you guys have seen them. Those 3-fingered leaves, they tend to yellow more than the others. Is that just something I noticed too? Is that they definitely get on the yellow side, and they just shoot out these weird, almost like some of them are kind of deformed, some of them they look totally fine, but they only have 3 fingers, like this. I call them the chicken foot pheno.
Yeah,
because they look like little chicken feet.
Is it a genetic thing? I always thought I just fucked up so badly that the plant was miserable and screaming.
No,
I mean, it's a genetic
I think
thing,
it's
that
an
makes me feel
auto
better.
trait.
No, it's not just auto trade, because I've seen some stuff like that. Like one of the testers for Biff back in the day I think it was a Mandarin cookies crossed with the peanut butter breath. It threw off a lot of those. Like, it just looked weird. Didn't branch out much. Just
And
kinda,
you sure that had no auto lineage to it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Because so
yeah,
maybe
ruderalis leaves are, kind of have that.
That's kind of
more
what
elongated 3, and then the shorter 2 on the sides of that. So I could see thinking, oh, maybe that comes from ruderalis, but
you'll see that on some
seeing it
re-veg
still in
leaves
photos,
too.
too.
You'll see the weird growth that looks similar to that when you re-veg too.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, it's so what I've noticed about them is that they tend to be a little bit on the outlier side in lots of categories, not just with the way they're shooting out the morphology of their leaves. We're talking about they tend to be on the high yielding side as well, which might have a little to do with their yellowing tendencies because their demand for food tends to be pretty high. They are very leafy. If they shoot out 1 chicken foot, there's going to be 1,000 chicken foots on the damn plant. So I don't know, just observations. They tend to move a little slower too. Just as they progress, they flower a little later. They might yield you more in the end, but you'll probably have to push them harder and for longer. If the end product is the same, like, great, you know, like, I welcome the chicken foot pheno. We'll see, you know, like, I mean, so it's not my favorite plant to look at, I'll be honest.
Right.
Like, I think it's like,
but it's
I don't
not
know.
it's not like a sign of certain doom either. It's just
No,
like,
no.
okay, we're doing this now.
Sometimes they just be like that. I truly believe it's a genetic thing, whether it's from ruderalis or not. Like, you did nothing wrong as a grower. Just don't write them off immediately because they're throwing these weird leaves and they kind of look ugly. That ugly, we'll call them the ugly duck foot pheno. Like, ugly duckling foot pheno. Because they're like, they don't look as pretty as the others. They're yellow and they have 3-fingered leaves. Like, the others get these beautiful shades of purple and red and, like, you know, 9, 11-fingered fan leaves, like dinner plates, you know? Mm-hmm. Not these little duck feet. But, like,
So disappointing.
smells are on point. Like, as far as I can tell, the terps are there. The yield's going to be, like, probably increased. And, like, yeah, you just got to deal with not the most aesthetic plant in your garden for a little bit.
What strain is this?
So it's one of those Alabrijes, unreleased strain, not one he, like, put a lot of work on. There was no guarantee of its being anything. It was.
I still think you grab the pitchforks. You know,
Star Crunch crossed with Dog Walk.
no, I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Run
like,
by quite a few.
yeah.
People. I wonder if anybody else ran into that same pheno or whatever, because I know quite a few people that have run that one.
And I ran 2 of them, G3, and the one right next to her is beautiful. Like, I just harvested her. Big purple buds, like, already harvested, done deal. Like, but the phenotypes were completely different. Like, the exact total opposite of each other. It's actually quite crazy, if I, you know, like, but that's what you sign up for when you grow, like, a tester strain. It's like some of them can be one thing, some might be another. Yeah, you just
have no idea what you're getting into.
Yeah, and then you might get an outlier thrown into the mix, like the old ugly duckling foot. So, you know,
as the old heads would say, does it get you high?
Ultimately,
you
that's
turn into a swan in the jar.
Yeah.
I hope so, man. Fingers crossed. So, we're getting a little. Do you hear that buzz coming from? Is that Monster? That just started happening. I don't know. Yep. Yep.
Just turned off his.
It just turned off, but now he just turned his audio off.
Is it back?
Whatever. Yeah, a little bit. We can deal with it, man. We're already an hour in. Can you fucking believe that?
Holy cow! Where did
Fucking
time go?
believe that?
Crazy night.
So what we were talking about, like the temperature offset in your tent. Mm-hmm. What did I just see? A new product.
Oh boy.
Amazing new product. From actually, you know, and I don't know. It seems cool. I will say this: they're always doing research. They are trying to come out with some really cool grow tools. Whether or not, and give me another sec. I brought it up on the wrong browser. I apologize. Whether or not they're going to be useful for you is another discussion entirely.
Mm-hmm. And at the right price point.
Yes, indeed. All right, so check this out.
Yes. I saw this.
The brand new
And I-
AC Infinity VPD thermometer.
I don't know what to think about it.
Very precise, right? You want to get, like, if you want to see what that leaf surface offset temperature is, this is what you're going to need to do it.
Yeah,
Or if it
it's like
breaks,
a
you could probably use it to like
fancy
remotely.
temperature gun.
You can point it at your wife.
Honey, your BPD is way out of whack.
I'm going to need to humidify you. Got to get you a little more moist. But I don't know if it works like that, but shoot, add that
So it's just a
functionality.
temperature gun that it measures temperature and humidity, and then it does the math and gives you VPD.
Exactly.
Is
Pretty
that what it'll calculate the VPD like? So it does like
I
what?
would guess so. It's just a
No,
calculation.
that's what
just a
that's what
mathematical
makes the most
formula,
sense. Yep, that's what makes the most sense.
It'll intake a little bit of air, get a reading of humidity, and shoot like what a laser or something. I don't
How
know.
much is this contraption?
Dude?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
A temperature gun
That's
uses
a
like a laser.
Good question. I don't even think it's on for sale yet. They just posted like a giveaway about it 8 hours ago.
They're gonna give a few of them away, make sure they don't burn anything down, and then
You're gonna be the
Yeah,
guinea
some
pig
beta
to
testing.
make sure
Yeah.
it doesn't explode in your hand.
yeah.
But this is, I mean, honestly, it's like, what are you going to do? Stand there and like get a scientific reading to tell you exactly how far off your AC Infinity probe is in the tent? Like, well, oh shit, my probe is about 5 degrees off. Like, that's good to know.
Oh, all
That is good to
right.
know. 'Cause what is
$30.
the lifespan of the probes? Yeah, they're $30, so that's
That's-
not too bad.
That's-
$30. Shit, I'm getting one.
That's pretty reasonable.
I don't care
I mean,
what
that's
I
a
do with
pretty
it.
good. Wow.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, just look it up.
I don't believe you.
It's
Yeah,
on
just
the
look
AC
it up.
Infinity site.
Hell yeah.
Use
That's
code
reasonable.
Cultivation.
Yo,
Like a good quality
that's
temp gun is going to cost you the same. Like a decent quality temp gun is going to run you $30. $40.
Can you tell the temperature of your kids who have a cold with this thing?
Sure, as long as you don't shine the laser in their eyes and blind them.
Or what if you do? Hear me out.
I didn't.
And
so
it
I.
saves the data from your previous readings to track shifting climate conditions.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it? Can I like get those readings in my app and see a graph?
I bet you could.
Can I? Hook
I don't
this
know.
up?
For $30, you're
don't
asking a
know.
lot.
Let's see.
Can I hook this up to my controller 69 and use one
Wouldn't
of my
that be
8
cool?
ports in some way? No, honestly, this is like I make fun, but I love that like they're continuously putting out shit that's just like, you know, growers might need this. Growers could use this, you know,
I think it's a
They-
decent
and
product.
for the right price.
Yeah, we
Shoot.
They
talk
actually
shit.
say that it can be used to help calibrate VPD enabled spark controllers. So they say that you can use this to help calibrate your probes
No shit.
for your controllers. Yeah.
So I didn't know that you could actually
It has
program in like offset leaf surface temperature within
This meter
your probe.
can also aid in calibrating VPD-enabled smart controllers by helping to measure leaf offset for more precise leaf VPD readings.
I wonder if you can hook this up to your.
I don't think you can.
Controller
Your
60.
thing.
No, I
I
just
think
looked
you
it
could
up.
just use it
There
to
is-
change.
There's no connection to the
Why
controller.
wouldn't you be able to? Why not? If you're using
it's
it
a
as a
handheld
more
device.
precise way to measure what's going on in your tent currently,
Well, you just gotta
and
wait
it's
for the
plugged
Pro
into
version to come out for $99.99, and then you'll be able to.
But if it's plugged into your exhaust fan and you have your parameters set correctly, then it will trigger an exhaust to take place. You know, like fresh air comes in.
Well, I think mostly they're saying that you can use this to figure out your precise leaf temperature instead of your ambient temperature so that you can change, you can set in an offset so that your VPD is measuring what your leaf temperature should be.
All right.
Exactly. Grateful nerd. Here, man. I'm a little stoned.
Whoop.
Just in,
Sorry.
we both tried to post
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes sense on how it worked. Like, because I just glanced on the website and mentioned zero.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Actually,
Yeah.
dude, I love it.
It's kind of
love it.
multifunctional. So
I'm gonna be
for
pointing
$30,
it
I
at
think
so
it's
much
pretty darn
shit.
good.
Yeah, I think for $30, it's definitely worth looking into. It's not. If it was $100, I would kind of push back against it. But for $30, I mean, people spend more than that on coffee.
Listen, I thought it was going to be in the $100 range. I mean, that's but
And you don't just have to use it there; that you can use that all over your house too. Use it to see
Absolutely.
if your plugs are warm. You know?
yeah, right.
Check
Yeah,
to see how warm
check
it
your
is in a room.
circuits. Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea, G3.
Yeah, a regular decent infrared heat gun is going to cost you $30 to $40.
Great idea. So yeah, and just real quick because it's up on their screen, I'll bring it up. Well, it didn't change over on our side. Hold on. One of the best things I've done recently has been purchasing. Oh my God, I did it again. Whatever. I don't need to show you to tell you what it is. It's those refillable carbon filters.
Yeah, you were mentioning some
Yeah.
of them.
How'd the
Love them,
refill
love them,
go?
love them, love them. The refill went fantastic, as easy as it can be. Like you literally just open the thing up. The design of the thing is like A plus. You know, whoever looked at a carbon filter and was like, you know, how can we easily have them empty the carbon, then refill it? Everything was thought of. They included even like a metal trowel, like a little shovel, to like dig in the carbon with. Like, beautiful, man. Like,
Doesn't make a total mess everywhere.
no. It was actually, aside from a little dust, okay, little
Yeah,
dust,
you're going to get that anyway.
clean, and like I didn't get any mess anywhere because they give you like a funnel and a trowel and like all the tools to get this job done in a clean and, you know,
Okay.
household friendly manner. Like,
Now, I wonder if there's any uses for the old carbon. I hear that I've never
I
done
wonder.
it. I hear you can rebake it and reactivate it and use it again.
Why not just put it in, like, mix it up with soil? Like, do you think it would act as like what's that one, like biochar in a way? Like, just add surface area for microbes to attach themselves to and colonize?
Yeah, I did. That did cross my mind. I don't think it could necessarily hurt. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, right. Here we got someone in the chat. It says put it in your cat box. Wait, no, they're talking about the temp gun with that.
Oh yeah, with the
Because it'll have a
lasers.
little laser on it. You know what? A quick aside. I am anti laser guns for your cats, people, like laser toys. That's a cruel toy. It is fun, and cats do go insane for that. But like, it's a mind trick, man. They can never catch it.
But cats are
that's the
such
thing.
cunts that like they deserve
They
it.
can be. Some of them
Oh
can
my
be.
Yeah. No, like I love my cat, but like the cat only loves me when it wants to.
Listen, I'm just saying, if you're a cat owner, you want the best for your cats, get them physical toys that
Well, they
like
say
they can
if you
play
have
with.
a laser, if you're playing with a laser, you need to have something that they can physically catch at the end of the game. So
Okay.
every once in a while, you get them something they can catch.
Then you give them
with
something they
catnip
can
or
catch.
something in it, right? But there should be a physical element as well. They should eventually sometimes win.
All right, yeah,
Otherwise,
because
nobody
it's
wants to
just
play a
cruel,
game you can never
man.
win.
Yeah, they're just like they eventually stop. I mean, if all
Yeah.
you do is play with lasers, your
Have
cat's
you ever
not
heard
gonna play
have
it.
you ever heard a cat pant? You can do it with a laser.
Oh yeah, they get worked up because
Oh, man,
they
they
can't
get fired
sweat,
up.
you know, like a dog. So
Yeah, they get fired up.
if your cat's panting, stop it with the damn
Yes.
laser
Oh,
already.
100%. 100%.
A cat panting is not a good thing.
See,
Especially in summertime, man.
my
It's just-
cat bullies my dog, so I don't mind fucking around with her now and then.
Well, we love cats. Mine, not in the garden, I will say, but everywhere
Not in
else.
the garden. Oh, I've lost so many.
Oh, real quick
Shit.
before we go, somebody had brought up and they were asking about, speaking of cats, right? And we don't want them in the garden. I think a lot of people need to take advantage of filtering the air that comes into their tent. A lot of times they'll just open up the flaps, get the air that way. I strongly suggest you close it, get yourself an extra piece of ductwork, and stick one of those circular HEPA filters in there, and get the air that way.
It'll filter out a lot of pet hair.
Yeah, and listen, I'm all about going cheap and saving money. If you want to DIY, you could even just throw an extra piece of ductwork on there with a fucking pantyhose. It'll work. But I'm a kind of a big fan of squeezing in a HEPA filter anywhere you can.
Smart idea, man. And you know what? That also kind of triggers my, like, I just want to remind people too. This time of year, if you go out to Lowe's, Home Depot, any garden center, guys, and you buy, if you walk around the damn garden center, like, please do yourselves a favor. Change your clothes, take your shoes off, maybe even take a shower before you go up in or down into your own garden, because God knows what you're tracking in. You know, like, truly.
If you've been outside or touching other plants before you open that tent, stop. Don't do it. You're going to give yourself aphids or thrips or spider mites or something horrible, and then you're going to be cursing your life. So just don't do it.
Same thing with your outdoor garden. Like, I'm talking about having veggies and stuff. Listen, I love pepper plants. I plan on having a ton of them. They're fucking aphid magnets.
Yeah.
So be careful going into your home garden, you know, after you've been outside.
Amen. I find that, you know, pants, and if you're wearing pants, for sure, but, like, your shoes are one thing. Like, first of all, I don't wear shoes in my fucking house. I take them off. But, like, some of you savages might be clomping around your house in your Skechers that you wore all day. Like, just think about it. Take them off. Save your garden. Save the hassle.
Naked gardening. That's cool.
Get in that habit. Absolutely. Especially this time of year. It's just, man, another avenue for infestation is just, it's right there. Just some people don't think about that. So just keep your head on a swivel. Keep the bugs out.
Yep. Keep those perimeters strong.
The defenses must be raised. Do we have any more Patreons? Any new people? Let's see.
Yep. We have a couple new members. We have Opie.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Opie. And then we have a new old Patreon subscriber. Welcome back, PB Grows.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Baby. Welcome back. You know what?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we have a Patreon, by the way. If you're a generous person, you want to help the show, that's the way to do it. And yeah, sometimes, like, we get it. Like, you have to cancel for whatever reason. It's all good. It's all good. No explanation needed. If you come back, you come back. We welcome you. But you're always welcome, whether you're a member or not, to join our Discord. We actually insist that you do. If you're listening to this right now, if you hear my voice and you're not there, report
We'd
for
like
duty.
You to fix
please,
that, please
report for duty. You are wanted on board the ship. So, yeah, links posted in the chat right now. If you don't see that, you're listening to an audio version, hit any one of us up and we will help you.
Website or...
Yeah, website will bring you right there. Just click Discord. You can't even fuck that up. You just click it. It brings you right there.
Cool, guys. And, yeah, we appreciate you all listening. The ones who joined us live, we love you the most. I'm not going to lie. So join us live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. If you've never watched a live show.
Eastern. Standard
Gotta
time.
do it. Yeah, Eastern. I forgot that part.
The real time zone.
Only one that we base everything on, right? But so yeah, guys, thank you all, and until next time.
Keep in
Don't get
touch with
caught.
yourself.